What is up, everybody? I am back here with the Raw review, guys, right here on the channel on khairoBMT. Oh my goodness me, pardon me, but we're straight away in the introduction, guys. So we had WWE Raw. I want to make a quick review here. So Raw, I thought it was a decent show. The middle was boring, mostly a boring show, but it was decent because of Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. So Raw kicked off with the video package of Triple H and Seth Rollins from last week. Then they showed Samoa Joe's surprise debut, guys, him attacking Rollins and injuring Rollins when he was about to apply the kick in the clutch. But obviously that was an accident, guys. And apparently it's the same knee that Seth Rollins injured. So we go straight to the ring, and the Raw General Manager waits with the Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon. The ring is set up for a contract signing. Foley welcomes us, and he welcomes Samoa Joe. So he introduces Samoa Joe, but he says it like he isn't concerned, like he really doesn't care, guys. He said it, I don't know how to explain it, but he said it in a way that just made it seem like he didn't care. And yeah, so Stephanie was quite upset. He also said he hopes Triple H agrees with this because he does not. Foley welcomes Samoa Joe, and out he comes in a suit. Stephanie says Mick must be under the weather or something. She reintroduces Joe, calling him the hottest free agent of the new era. Stephanie hypes up Joe, and he gets a mixed reaction, guys. But at least everyone got he got a reaction, unlike some other people in the WWE. And Samoa Joe was absolute beast on the mic last night, guys. Samoa Joe was amazing on the mic. Very, very good on the mic, guys. Told a story, but yeah, Stephanie was like, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Samoa Joe." You know how Stephanie talks, guys. You don't know how Stephanie talks, how she tries to hype things up, and then her voice just cracked and it sounds so annoying. But yeah, so Joe started off on the mic, guys. He says it took him 18 years to be standing in the ring right now. Joe says in those 18 years, when Foley claims to be such a big fan, only one man opened the door and gave him an opportunity. And if your loyalty to that man means coming out and putting Seth Rollins on the shelf, so be it. And he said it in a cocky and arrogant way. Samoa Joe was absolutely great on the mic, guys. Yeah, you could tell he's a heel. Joe puts the entire Raw locker room on notice. He will come out night after night, and he will beat up our heroes, choke them out, and beat them up again when they wake up. Joe says the Destroyer has arrived, and there's nothing we can do about it. So Joe signs the Raw contract, so he's officially a superstar member of Monday Night Raw. Foley offers a handshake, but guess what? There was one man that had a problem with Joe, saying that he's putting the whole locker room on notice, guys. Roman Reigns comes out, guys, to a lot of boos. Reigns says Joe is out here talking tough and making threats. Reigns tells Joe to threaten him that he's out here. Reigns says they've never met. He formally introduces himself and says he's the baddest man to step foot in the WWE, even though some people may say that about Samoa Joe. The moment Joe signs his contract, he's in Reigns' yard. That's what Reigns says. Reigns says Joe can either shut his mouth or get it caved in. Foley rants about now. He's still the general manager and his loyalty is to the fans. And let me just interrupt here. I think Mick Foley is going on surgery soon. It really looks like he's not going to be general manager for long. The way I be speaking, like he doesn't really care anymore. Like he's getting too stressed out. They're going to pass that general manager role onto someone else, I'm sure, guys. Because he has to have a surgery on his hip. I think his hip replacement surgery. And Roman Reigns, I like the way how Roman Reigns delivered this promo. Was very short, guys, and to the point. Did not speak a lot. So Foley makes Joe versus Reigns for tonight's main event. Joe and Reigns face off as Stephanie gets in between them. So Roman's music hits as Joe leads first with Stephanie right beside him. So they were just talking about the Seth Rollins situation. And guess what? We actually kicked off the show. The first match was a women's match, guys, on Raw. Surprising. Bayley has faltered on the main roster against the dominant Nia Jax, who was also voted on the women's roster, guys, on Monday Night Raw. And wow, Nia Jax is basically the Braun Strowman of the women's division. She is the Braun Strowman of the women's division. You can tell by the way how WWE is booking her. They are invested in Nia Jax, but I don't think the fans are invested in Nia Jax. Bayley starts this early on and goes for offense, but Nia turns it around and levels Bayley. Bayley fights back with elbows, but Nia slams her. Nia shows off and wastes time as fans boo. Nia keeps up the attack and tells Bayley to stay down. This was basically a squash match, because Nia Jax was completely dominant over this matchup. Bayley will probably get her few strikes in, a little comeback, and that was about it, because Nia Jax was always there to floor her. Back from the break, and Nia keeps control. Bayley tries to fight back but has no luck. Nia floors Bayley again and mocks her. Bayley fights back again. Bayley looks to turn it around, but Nia cuts her off and sends her to the floor. She launches Bayley into the barrier now. Bayley moves and Nia hits the ring post, so she runs headfirst into the ring post. Bayley sends her into the post again, and Bayley returns to the ring as the referee counts. And I think Baron Saxton made a stupid comment here when Bayley's trying to get back in the ring. He was like, Bayley's using the ropes as her partner. That doesn't make any sense at all. The referee was counting, and out came the Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte. She ran down to booze. She distracts the referee and Bayley. Bayley decks her, guys. I think she kicked the ropes. Charlotte flipped over, bringing her into the ring. Bayley drop kicks Charlotte to the floor. She turns around into a big Samoan drop from Nia Jax for the win. So it looks like they're really interested in Nia Jax. They're going to be pushing her. She's already pinned Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble. She beat Sasha Banks last week on Raw, and now she has pinned Bayley last night on Raw, guys. So it looks like they're very, very interested in Nia Jax. There should be big plans for her, and she should be in a big WrestleMania match. After the match, Nia stands tall as we go to replays. She makes her exit as Charlotte stands tall over her with the title in the air. So, Bayley versus Charlotte is for the Raw Women's Championship is on the line, guys. That was announced for next week's Raw in Las Vegas. I wonder if we're going to see a Sasha Banks versus Charlotte feud 2.0. Are you going to have Bayley win the Raw Women's Championship next week on Raw and have Charlotte win it back at Fastlane? Because that looks like the direction that WWE are going in. So they kept bringing up Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship, and Cesaro and Sheamus' rematch clause for the Raw Tag Team Championships against Gallows and Anderson, plus the big main event of Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Next up was a handicap match after the break. I was completely shocked. The monster amongst men, Braun Strowman, guys, he faced 4 local competitors, 4 jobbers. Do I really have to go over it? No, because no one really cares. This was just a squash match. Braun Strowman destroyed every single one of these men. But one man was very scared. I think it was the black man. He saw Braun Strowman come forward to him. He ducked under and he ran off. That was a very smart decision. I salute you. Very smart. He wanted to live the next day. He wanted to breathe another breath, guys. So I don't need to go over it. Strowman destroyed them. He even put the 3 men on top of each other, sandwiched them, pinned them 1, 2, 3. He took the mic, and we saw the same thing that we saw about 2 to 3 months ago. Braun Strowman is like, Mick Foley, is this what you call competition? I've had enough of this. This is not competition. I'm going to the back to find you right now. So that's exactly what Braun Strowman did. Mick Foley wasn't far behind. So they meet up, guys. So he says, so they're backstage. Foley makes Braun versus Roman Reigns. So it will be Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane next month on March the 5th, guys. That's competition. Strowman kind of grinned. What tough. That was it. The next up, guys, was a Cruiserweight match, which is kind of pointless, but this kind of had some meaning. They've been hyping up this man. I think he's from Japan. They've been hyping him up a lot, and they've seen that he's brilliant. He has a lot of good strikes. Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak. This match went, what, 3 to 4 minutes? Of course, because the Cruiserweights on Raw. I've said this every single week on the Raw review. Erase the Cruiserweights from Raw. Erase the Cruiserweights from Raw. Why are they on Raw? I have absolutely no idea. This match was very good. Tozawa kept shouting, ha, ha, ha. And then he hit a German suplex, like a snap German suplex. It was so quick, beautiful. Ducked under Gulak's legs, hit the German suplex for the win, guys. And he held it into the pin. Tozawa stands tall as we go to replays. The Brian Kendrick comes out and offers a handshake to Tozawa. Kendrick welcomes Tozawa and leaves the ring as Tozawa goes back to the corner to celebrate. So I wonder what we're going to see there. Probably Brian Kendrick and Tozawa are going to have some type of rivalry or feud. Next up, guys, the WWE Universal and United States Champions Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho came out. Owens brags about retaining the Universal title last week. Jericho chimes in with how he will retain his title over Sami Zayn later on. Jericho has a bone to pick with someone else. Some people are calling him the greatest of all time. Someone who barely won a game yesterday. Jericho asks if we know what happens when you steal his nickname. You end up on the list. Jericho adds New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady to the list. Chris Jericho's an absolute clown, man. Chris Jericho's a comedian, very great. Chris Jericho's great, man. The crowd did react, guys. They were laughing. Jericho calls him a stupid idiot and moves on to WrestleMania 33. He brings up Randy Orton going on to face the WWE Champion at WrestleMania 33, but he has a bigger match in mind for the Universal title. Best friend versus best friend, title versus title, hashtag 61 Minute Man versus Kevin Owens. Jericho says it will be the biggest main event in the history of WrestleMania. Are you sure? Biggest match in the history of WrestleMania? Main event? I don't think so. Fans do the yes chant. Yes! Yes! Daniel Bryan, he's still with the fans for the match. Owens agrees that it's the biggest WrestleMania main event in history, but he's not sure if he can fight his best friend. Fans boo because they want to see Jericho and Owens compete. The music hits. I was surprised. We all knew that Bill Goldberg was going to be here to accept Brock Lesnar's challenge, but no, guys. The music hits. Out comes Big Bill Goldberg to a big pop. He is over with the fans as a babyface, guys. They're cheering for him. Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. The cameras follow Goldberg from the locker room to the ring. So when he gets into the ring, he calls Jericho and Owens ladies and says they have two choices. Step aside and live, or try to go a pair and face him 2-on-1. So Goldberg goes straight into action, guys. He wasn't messing around. Goldberg accepts Brock Lesnar's challenge for WrestleMania 33 and their match is on. So the first confirmed match for WrestleMania 33 is indeed Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg. Owens says it will be the perfect undercard match because he and Jericho are the main event. This kind of made me laugh. He's basically saying they're devaluing themselves because they know the true main event. So that's alright if they're on the card, but they should must be below Jericho and Owens. That's what he's trying to say. Owens asks if Goldberg knows why he's the longest reigning Universal Champion. Goldberg says it's because Owens has never faced him before. Goldberg challenges Owens to a title match at Fastlane. Jericho interrupts and talks down to Goldberg. Goldberg takes the list because Jericho was about to add Goldberg on the list. Goldberg takes the list. He took the list. He took the pen, wrote his name. He adds himself to it, guys. Jericho fires back and says he never liked Goldberg. Jericho says if Goldberg wants a match at Fastlane, he's got it. I thought Jericho was going to face himself, Goldberg. I thought he was going to make himself face it. But then he was like, Goldberg versus Owens for the Universal title. Then Goldberg had a big grin on his face. Owens was arguing with Jericho. Goldberg ends up leaving while Owens isn't happy, guys. He's very distraught. Goldberg was like, Kevin Owens, you and your title are next. And that was it then. That was it, guys. Very, very, very good segment. Double thumbs up. Very good segment between Owens, Jericho, and Goldberg. Kevin Owens better keep that Universal Championship close till March the 5th because he will be losing it to Goldberg in a squash match at Fastlane. There's no way that Kevin Owens is retaining the Universal Championship over Goldberg. Looks like the rumors were true that Goldberg will be winning the Universal title, and it will be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, where I'm sure Brock Lesnar will get his revenge, win the Universal Championship, and then I don't know from there, guys. Back from a commercial break, and Owens is backstage with Jericho. Owens can't believe Jericho did this. Owens already has Foley trying to put him on all sorts of matches. Jericho says he's always had Owens back and will do the same at Fastlane. Owens says Jericho volunteering him for Goldberg is not having his back. He storms off, and Jericho has basically like a bad face, like a sad face. He's worried for his best friend. The next match was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Gallows and Anderson. So we go to the ring, and Enzo Amore and Big Cass are at ringside watching. Cesaro and Sheamus are out first. The Raw Tag Team Champions Gallows and Anderson are out next for their first TV defense. So apparently the commentators are saying Enzo and Big Cass, whoever won this match would face Enzo and Cass for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So it looks as if WWE had just scrapped the Jinder Mahal and Rusev, Enzo and Big Cass feud and rivalry because it was going nowhere and nobody cared about it. So they just scrapped it. All of a sudden, I tweeted it on Twitter, all of a sudden Enzo and Cass, they finally realized that they have tag team championships on their roster. They finally realized this match was bad. I didn't like the match, but I'll talk about the ending. Sheamus was going for the 10 forearms of Battering, I forgot what it's called, on the outside, on the apron, and nails them. Cesaro tags him for a double team on Anderson from the top. Gallows breaks it up at 2. Gallows with a big boot to Sheamus to send him to the floor. Cesaro unloads on Gallows, sending him to the floor. Enzo yells at Gallows. Gallows delivered a big kick, a big boot to Enzo in the face whilst he was sitting down. Cass nailed Gallows with a boot for the disqualification because Gallows hit his teammate. So that's how we reacted, guys. So we all know what happens there. So Gallows and Anderson win by disqualification. After the bell, Cesaro and Sheamus aren't happy with Enzo and Cass. Gallows and Anderson leave with the titles as their music hits. So I'm sure what we're going to see at Fastlane is a triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Gallows and Anderson defending their Raw Tag Team titles against Enzo and Cass and Cesaro and Sheamus. That's what I'm guessing here. Back from the grape, and we get the video on Triple H and Seth Rollins. Cole confirms that Rollins tore his MCL last week and that his WrestleMania 33 status is up in the air. They didn't really give us a status. The next match was the New Day versus the Shining Stars. They had their little promo before the match. The New Day didn't really care. Funny how they come from the longest reigning tag team champions ever, guys, in WWE history. As soon as they lose it, they just fall flat. The momentum's gone down. No one's cared about the New Day. I haven't cared about the New Day, and I was fans of the New Day. Who cares about the Shining Stars? The Shining Stars, Epico and Primo, they're a bunch of jobbers. We do not care about them. This match ended really quickly as Epico came from behind on Big E, but doesn't realize Woods is legal. Big E holds him while Woods comes off the top rope for the win, guys. Midnight Hour, and the New Day win. The announcers plugged the WWE Elimination Chamber and confirmed Goldberg versus Owens from Fastlane. Well, I was pretty upset about this. Because I was saying to myself, aren't you Raw? You're supposed to be acting as if you're different promotions. Why are the commentators, why is Raw, why are they promoting the Elimination Chamber as SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're Raw. Keep on promoting Fastlane, which is your next pay-per-view. Why promote Elimination Chamber? I don't know. I really don't know, guys. So there was another backstage segment with Jericho and Charlie Caruso. She asked about the situation with Owens and his match with Sami Zayn tonight. Jericho chalks it up to minor issues between best friends. Owens walks up and Jericho dismisses Charlie. Owens and Jericho get back on the same page and end it with a hug. Best friends forever. So the next match was indeed for the United States Championship matchup. The underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Well, everyone thought that Sami Zayn was going to win the United States Championship. I knew that Sami Zayn wasn't going to win the United States Championship. Why all of a sudden would WWE just hand over the championship to Sami Zayn just like that? I don't know, guys. This match, I was kind of looking forward to this match, but it only lasted, what, 8 minutes? so I didn't really care about the match. I watched the match, but he cared. Back from the break, and Sami is fighting back again. Jericho counters and hits the lion shot for a 2 count. More back and forth. Sami blocks a cold break and hits the explode into the corner, setting up for the Helluva Kick. He goes on to hit the Blue Thunderbomb for another close 2 count. More back and forth. Sami goes for the big DDT out of the corner, but Jericho avoids it. Jericho with the walls of Jericho now. Sami finally makes it to the bottom rope and the hold is broken. Jericho distracts the referee, allowing Owens to nail a super kick from the floor to Zayn. Sami stumbles around into a code breaker for the win. That was it. Jericho is still your United States champion. I was happy when Jericho captured the United States championship from Roman Reigns, but now the United States championship on Jericho means nothing as well, guys. I wanted that because Sami Zayn or someone like that told the United States championship, because Jericho isn't doing anything in the United States championship. It's like his priority is to get Owens over. That's what it is. After the match, the best friends celebrate and leave together. The announcers plug Goldberg versus Owens again and Goldberg versus Lesnar. Samoa Joe is backstage showing warming up, guys. We go to commercial, show him warming up. That's Samoa Joe, guys. The Samoan machine. He's just practicing, warming up, getting ready for Roman Reigns. So we had a cruiserweight segment here. We go to the ring and Austin Aries has a mic. He's landed an interview with the WWE Cruiserweight Champion. The music hits and out comes Neville. Aries thanks Neville for the exclusive interview. Aries brings up Rich Swann suffering an injury last week. I don't know if this is legit, because I actually didn't know Rich Swann was injured. But apparently Rich Swann is injured and it looks as if he's really legit, but I really don't know. He announces that tomorrow's, which is tonight's, WWE 205 Live after SmackDown Live will feature former Cruiserweight Champion TJ Perkins versus the premier athlete Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander versus Noam versus the gentleman Jack Gallagher in a fatal 5-way elimination match. Oh, that's going to be good. Definitely watching that. The winner will face Neville for the title at Fastlane. Aries asks which opponent scares Neville the most. He says Aries must be delusional if he thinks anyone in the division scares him. Neville says the fatal 5-way is irrelevant because whoever wins will be forced to pay respects to the king. And he, as he says, the true king of the cruiserweights. The music hits and out comes Cedric Alexander to interrupt. Aries isn't happy with the interruption, but then all the cruiserweights just come up, guys, in the match. Noam Dar's music hits and he's out with a mic, guys. He threatens to take the title from Neville and taunts Cedric for taking Alicia Fox. Jack Gallagher is out next. Aries still wasn't happy with all the interruptions. He was getting frustrated. Tony Nese is out next. TJ Perkins is out last and he also has a mic. Perkins reminds us that he was the first Cruiserweight champion. But does anyone care? No, because you've been made look like a joke on Raw. He says he actually knows what it takes to... Sorry, guys. He says he actually knows what it takes to win the title and he's going to do it again. Perkins says he had never have unfinished business. Perkins says he came here to do this. He decks Nese and a big brawl breaks out. Neville kicks Perkins out of the ring. It comes down to Gallagher unloading on Neville with uppercuts and a dropkick that sends him to the floor. Gallagher runs for a dive, but Dar trips him. Perkins launches himself out onto Dar and Gallagher. Nese runs the ropes and takes Perkins out. Cedric re-enters the ring and runs for a dive, nailing the other 4 challengers on the outside. Neville runs the ropes next and stops before diving out. Held up the Cruiserweight Championship. That was great. Neville was a great heel. He taunts the crowd and raises the title as we go to commercial. So back from the break, guys, the tag team match was made. Neville, Tony Nese and Noam Dar versus Jack Gallagher, TJ Perkins and Cedric Alexander. And this match was pretty quick. Really quick, guys. The finish sees Cedric get the pin on Dar after Neville walks out on his team. He didn't give a damn. So Gallagher, Perkins and Alexander won this match. That was it. After, Jericho and Owens are backstage again. Jericho says they need to show the world how strong their bond is. They need a festival. The Festival of Friendship will be the biggest celebration in WWE history. Jericho says next week's Raw in Las Vegas, the perfect place for this big party. Jericho says it will be the WrestleMania of friendships. Owens seems a bit hesitant, but says he wouldn't miss it for the world. So we're going to see Jericho and Owens have like a little celebration, a little mini party, guys. And again, back from the break, the announcers lead us to a video for the Elimination Chamber. Again, hyping up and promoting a SmackDown Live pay-per-view. I really don't know why. So the next match was Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns, the match that everyone was waiting for, guys. The main event of the night. Roman Reigns made his way out to the ring. Look, he looks so weird without a title, man. So weird without a title, without him carrying it like a backpack on his shoulder, or without his waist. He just looks weird without a title, guys. He just looks empty. But we all know WWE are going to resolve that problem very soon. Reigns will have the Universal Championship very soon. We go to the ring and out comes Roman Reigns for tonight's main event. Reigns makes his way down the ramp. But guess what? Samoa Joe attacks him from behind, similar to what he did to Seth Rollins. He beats Reigns to ringside and sends him to the barrier. Joe drops Reigns with a clothesline. He slams Reigns into the apron and as the referee looks on from the ring. He continues to beat down on Reigns and rolls into the ring to some boos. Joe goes back outside and sends Reigns into the ring post. And he delivers a senton drop on the floor, guys. Samoa Joe's been brutal. He re-enters the ring. The referee comes out to check on Reigns. Back to commercial. So back from the break and Reigns is standing in the corner. The match started when the commercial break. So what are they doing during the commercial break? Having a little sip of water? Having a drink of water? I don't know. The referee finally calls for the bell. And here we go. Joe unloads and beats Reigns down in the corner. Joe keeps control and beats Reigns around with ease, guys. So Samoa Joe was taking control for most of the matchup. Then you had Roman Reigns deliver his signature moves, guys. His trademarks, his jumping clotheslines, his power slams, Samoan drops, drive-bys, Superman punches. I'm going to talk about near the ending of the matchup, guys. Joe drops Reigns and hits another senton for a 2 count. Joe stalks Reigns into the corner and beats him around some more. He catches Joe with a Samoan drop out of nowhere. Reigns with a 2 count. Reigns readies for a Superman punch, but Joe rolls to the floor. Great instincts there. Reigns runs around and hits the drive-by. He rolls Joe back into the ring and waits. Reigns nails a Superman punch. The music hits, and out comes the monster amongst men, Braun Strowman, to interrupt. Obviously, we saw last week on Raw, Roman Reigns costed Braun Strowman the Universal Championship. So now Braun Strowman is here to cost Roman Reigns a match. Braun marches to the ring as Reigns looks on. Reigns nails him on the apron with a right hand. Braun just eats it and stares at Reigns. Reigns with a Superman punch to knock Braun off the apron. Joe with a kick from behind to Reigns. Joe ends up catching Reigns in a, what was it? A swinging Uranagi for the ring, guys, for the pin. I was shocked that it was with that move. I thought it was going to be the Muscle Buster. That was it. Well, after the match, Braun Strowman absolutely annihilated Roman Reigns. After the match, Braun looks on from ringside as Joe stands tall. We go to replays. Braun enters the ring and scoops Reigns for the running power slam. He stands over Reigns before kicking him under the bottom rope. He wasn't done. He did his running power slam, his finisher, but he wasn't done. He follows Reigns to the floor, but Reigns fights back. Braun drops him with one big blow. He takes apart the steel steps and waits for Reigns to get up. Braun runs and smacks Reigns in the face with the steps. Braun yells like a monster and tosses the steps before going back after Reigns. Braun scoops Reigns and hits a big running power slam through the barrier. This was brutal. I could not believe it, guys. Braun Strowman absolutely annihilated Roman Reigns. Destroyed Roman Reigns. Got him in that power slam. Yeah, he power slammed him through the barricade. I've never ever seen a power slam through the barricade. That was epic. That was amazing, guys. Referees check on Reigns and warn Braun to back off as Raw goes off the air, and that was Raw. Raw was pretty good tonight. Was boring though during the middle, but the end match, what Braun Strowman did to Roman Reigns was very good. Jericho and Owens throughout was good. Goldberg, Jericho and Owens segment was good. And there's basically nothing else. Akira Tozawa's debut was good, guys. Lovely snap German suplex. And I don't think there was anything really else good about Raw. I give Raw a good solid 6 out of 10, guys. Very, very decent, because I give them a worse rating, or I don't even rate it, guys. So I will see you all tomorrow for the SmackDown Live review. Make sure you're staying tuned to the channel, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.